Hello and welcome back to American Truck Simulator. We're up here in that good old Eureka, boy, and we'll see what do we got going on from up here. Let's just jump, skip, dip straight back into the business. We are up in Eureka. What do we got? Those numbers aren't looking too good right to start with. The distance per mile. I really like it when things are getting like 20, 27 and up, but yeah. 20, 22 and below is when I start to get real scared. We could go over to Elko. That's a possibility. We could go down to Bakersfield or Barstow. Didn't we just come from Bakersfield? Isn't that like exactly what we had last time? So I guess we're going to Elko because somewhere slightly different than the past. In the recent past, of course. I believe in the times we've done stuff. Butt stuff. As a side note, I tried to download some workshop mods right before I began recording this, but I don't know if they came through because I clicked like a mod manager button and they didn't show up, and it wasn't really obvious. I know they downloaded, but that's about it. So I don't know. Maybe next time I'll go back in and figure out if they didn't end up stalling. But the ones I got were ones that let's see. So there was one that increased the yellow light time just because it can be really annoying of how short that is. I reduced some of the police fines because they just were so expensive, man. I think I added like new engine sounds and new lighting effects with the headlights, so I'll have to go back and check if those come in, but that should make things a little bit easier and a little bit more smooth in terms of gameplay. I think the biggest help would be the police fines and the yellow light, man. It's just never easy to be able to make as much money as I want to with how pricey things can get when you speed all the time. Clearly that says something about our play style, but no, I think it's all about the speeding meta. It's the meta that made me do it, okay? Everybody speeds. Everybody. I don't know, there's not a lot of people that don't speed, except people that don't want to get anally raped, but, you know, like, it just seems to be a norm. It's just people speed, and then the police catch you, but no, you speed, and then everyone else speeds, and you just keep up with them, and you sort of roam as a pack on the highway, so it's just like, well, this is how fast everyone else is going, I'm gonna stick with them. That's just how the way things go most of the time in real life. So in this game, of course, though, nobody really goes over the speed limit. I'm just a mess who is just gonna get arrested all the time. I'm gonna throw on some of those tunes that we're used to. There we go. We have to go all the way out to this beach thing just to get some cargo. How silly. Alright, nobody saw this right turn on the red light coming. Whoa, we did it without getting arrested. I'm shocked. Plus, like, the police tickets can be so inconsistent. Like, you be going like 20 over, they won't arrest you. You could be turning on a right on red, and they'll get you for a speeding ticket. It's silly. It can be quite a hassle to have to deal with that. That's one of the things I've noticed. It wasn't any better really in Euro Truck Simulator 2, but it's just one of those easily fixable things. I think those happen. You know, there's a lot of easily fixable things that just sort of slightly bug me and wish. Well, I don't know if they could be incredibly difficult to fix. I've never made a game in that regard, but it just seems like a simple problem to have. So my two pet peeves with video game design, the first would be when, let's say, you've got a game that mainly focuses on controller use, but then it's either ported to PC or has PC controls, but it doesn't focus on those. So if you get like a pop-up and it's just like the automatic control scheme is for a controller, and so if you're trying to figure out how to play the game and you're using a keyboard and mouse, you're not going to know what buttons to hit, and you either have to go look them up yourself or just try to discover it. That seems like something you can fix. Just have it recognize what like controller you're using or a keyboard, and then just go from there. But that happens in all too many games, or it seems like, just all the time. My second pet peeve is when in the options menu you don't get to see the effects or hear the effects of some sliders. So let's say it's giving you like music and like UI effects sliders. Excuse me. Pardon me. Oh boy. Did we take any damage? Not on our trailer, and that's what's important. Anyway, so let's say it's like you want to turn down the music because, you know, a lot of games start really loud, just so incredibly loud. I don't understand how it's possible. So it's like you're in the main menu for the first time, you want to turn that shit down, but then you like are throwing it around and it doesn't actually change the music that's currently playing. Instead, you have to hit apply and be like, oh, that's maybe still a bit too loud. You go a little bit further down and like, it could be better. Like, why can't you just have it be like the music volume changes as you change the slider? It just seems it's just really something simple that can make something so easy and helpful to players. It's just like it seems like something you can do, just the little things. Whoop, excuse me. It's because, you know, I'm not one who's gonna critique like this is the way you should play. Fuck off. So by both the fact that the yellow light did not last as long, and then we immediately got fined incredibly high fees for running the yellow light and speeding, those mods did not get implemented. So I'm gonna have to go back in next time and figure that one out. We just took like a buttload of damage, like semen filled buttload. But we can stop up in Reading at least and get repaired. We'll probably get a nap in then. I don't think we need fuel. We got that relatively recently, but that's looking like the plan for now. It's just a tentative agenda, of course. But such is life. Now everyone else is going slow because they don't want to speed, and there's a cop right there. Ugh, you know, somebody's got to take a stand against these police. Look at me go. I'm not even on the road. He should pull me over, like, immediately, but he's not going to because he doesn't understand the true thug life. Unexpected thug life, though. What a great subreddit. Hold up. You know, just funny situations where everybody acting a thug. You know, I went back and had a bit of a nostalgic trip today because on Netflix I realized a few months ago that they put on the 1975 Escape to Witch Mountain movie made by Disney. And that was a movie that I had seen when I was very young for some reason, even though that movie's like 20 years older than me. I don't know, apparently my parents wanted to show me it. I don't know why they would have seen it either. That movie came out 20 years after they were born, so it's just a little silly too, isn't it? Somehow I managed to see it though. And I remember that movie as a kid. It was very good in my opinion as a child, of course. Interesting story, interesting characters, interesting acting. A little bit silly at times, but you know, a whimsical adventure for the whole family and whatnot. And, you know, I really just remembered the soundtrack that came with it, just because it was melodic and played a lot in the movie. Anyway, I went back and watched that because I was like, oh man, I haven't seen this in a long time, and I have a high hopes of remembering how good it was. And you know what? I'm gonna be honest. I still think it holds up. I don't think it's that bad. You know, it's got like a 6 something on like IMDb, but I think it's better than that, especially for a children's movie. You know, I think it gives interesting characters. It's sort of a mystery. That's certainly not one to easy to figure out. Like, making the conclusion that, hey, you know, there's some weird kids. They're aliens! Did you get that? It may be a little silly jump. But, you know, while mostly it just comes down to it's a silly, standard Disney chase movie. How'd I take damage? I don't care. It was just really just a silly, standard Disney chase movie that is a little whimsical and fun. That's just what it comes down to. But the acting's all fun and dandy and whatnot. I really like that movie. Even watching it now, it got me all happy and shit. Anyway, but the one thing that did not hold up was the effects, for sure. Holy fucking shit, those had to be some of the worst green screen effects I've ever seen in my life. Like, it was outstandingly terrible. And it was hilariously bad, though. I mean, I understand it was 1975. It's not like effects are all that good back then. But this was just hilarious. Like, imagine somebody takes a still image and crops out a fucking figure from that image in like Photoshop or GIMP or something, and I don't know. And then they have a moving shot of landscape in the background, and then they just plaster that 2D image straight on the screen. And that was the level of effects it was. The chasing at the end, they're like, you know what? We're gonna have the fucking getaway vehicle start to fly because they're aliens. Look, I don't want to go over that part, but anyway, they start to do this, so they like take off, and it just goes straight green screen, and so it's just a still image of one angle of the caravan or whatever, and it's just they just put it over the landscape, and then there was a helicopter chasing them as well, so that they green screened that one too at some point, because they're like, how are we gonna show that the RV is next to a helicopter? That can't happen, except in the one shot where it does. So they green screen that too, and then to top it all off, so this is, imagine this all over like a landscape here where you've got hills in the background, a clear blue sky, and trees and shit. And then, so this is just like going on. They're just like moving these figures around the screen like some sort of weird child's production. And then they go all like fucking 2D arcade Galaga on my ass and put in a blank fucking wall of cloud. Okay? Just straight up a 2D just wall. Like, it didn't even look 3D, because imagine if we were just driving here and all of a sudden a fucking wall of smoke just appeared in front of our fucking faces. You'd be like, well, that's clearly not happening in the game because it's not even the correct angle of the sky. And so it was like, well, this is a little silly, isn't it? Oh, come on, get off the guardrail. And so they do that, and it's just like, wow, that's terrible. And then they come out of the other side of it too, and they're just like, whoop, guess the helicopter's upside down now. So then they literally just flip the figure upside down and then move that around the screen some more. And that was the level of effects in that movie. Also, because it was a 1975 Disney movie, they had animals, of course. Animals that you should probably not put children around, like bears. I don't care if it was a young bear. I could tell it was a young bear. I believe it was a young American black bear. But still, you should probably not put your children around bears. I've seen Kobayashi try to out-hot dog eat a fucking Kodiak bear. The bear won. The bear's massive. Bears don't fuck around. Put them around a horse too, man. Well, a horse is probably a little easier to train and deal with. You know, that's a weird one. And then, you know, but at some point, you know, when you're trying to like train the animals, it's like, when does this become some weird sort of ethical concern? If you're just filming them walking around, whatever, you're just the one bringing the horse to a location. But then it's like you trying to like convince to like move the animals in certain directions, like there's some sort of weird fucking puppet. And it just gets awkward. There was one scene where they had a cat named Winky throughout the entire movie. But at the beginning, you know, like the cat like jumps into hands and like frees the box from some child. Anyway, but then they're like, oh, great, Winky, how nice of you. Oh my god, this is terrible. We've crashed a lot. Somehow we didn't take... What did we even crash into there? I don't know. But then they're like, oh, Winky. And so they're like, well, we gotta give Winky his namesake and have him wink. How do we do that? We get some footage of a cat, like, gently shrugging its shoulders and not even closing its eyes while staring at the camera. And so it's like half closing one of its eyes. And then we're gonna play that back in reverse, you know, just to get the imagination of it winking, and it was really obvious and weird. It's effects could have used some work. I'm just gonna say it was 1975, so you know I'll give it a pass there. I don't know really any other movies from 1975 that had any effects really. I don't know a lot of movies from the 70s. I'm not gonna lie. That's sort of past my cutoff date of movies that could be hilariously bad. Hi, bus. That bus had people on it. That's different. Anyway, like well, there is Shaka, the horror movie involving a bunch of scientists playing some weird RPG in an office building while a killer monkey's on the loose. So there's that. I believe that was a 70s horror movie. You know, just saying. It's, that one's a silly one. Oh, please turn green. Nobody else is here but me. Thank you. I just want to get repaired and get a nap in, because we are damaged to hell. Even our trailer is slightly damaged, which just annoys me. Why can't we get a perfect every time? Why can't the threshold for perfect or excellent? Excellent doesn't imply perfect. Why can't we have perfect and then excellent? Like perfect being 0% damage, maybe excellence like up to 5% damage, or maybe 3% damage if you want to make it a little more of a challenge. But still, if it's only perfect, that's gonna be tough, because you could fucking tickle up and brush up against the fucking wind and it would give you damage in this game. Maybe that's a mod someone needs to make. I don't know. Changing the thresholds of success. My success. Let us spinach kale turn into this repair station so that we can get serviced up in this bitch. Not here. Ooh. I am very tempted to try to run over those people. Not gonna lie. Maybe we'll come back and do it. That could be fun. We haven't tried to go in there yet. And there's clearly an obvious hole there, which is unique, because most of the time it's blocked off by like the fence and whatnot. But there's clearly just a hole there. So unfortunately, I believe it'll be nighttime by the time we wake back up, and maybe they won't be there. That's a lot of money to pay, but that's okay. Anything for the price of safety, am I right? Or am I right? Well, let's go to sleep. Eventually, when we find the one area. There it is. Okay, good night, everyone. We pay our loans, we paid our loans, but Horse made money, so there's Horse. Oh no, there's still a couple people there. Let's go try to knock him over like bowling pins. You feel me? Can I leave my trailer here? Holy shit, that's baller as all hell. Alright, I'll be right back, trailer. I won't be a minute. Are you fucking serious? I just got repaired, man. Why do you gotta make life hard on me, Mr. Fire Hydrant? God damn it. Okay. So here's the entrance. How much do you want to bet there's an invisible wall? Well, I wasn't wrong. There is, in fact, an invisible wall, which that's just deceiving, man. You could just put a fence up like everything else in this game, but why does this one have to have an invisible wall that deters you from going in? I just wanted to try, although we've discovered that they really don't want us to kill people. They don't want to have this game have a fucking R rating or some shit. I hate you so much. Alright, well, I'm gonna get repaired again since we're here. I mean, might as well, right? I'm gonna take so much damage just trying to back up. Come on. Come on, Daddy. Daddy, there you... No, don't. Get away from that trailer. It's not yours yet. You have to repair yourself first. Go to the shop. You think trucks care that you send them to the shop? Like some sort of pets dealing with veterinarians? Do pets really care if they're going to the vet? You know, I see all these all the time. Like, people like, oh, look how sad and guilty he looks. But it's like, dude, is that how they work? Those things called animals? Like, I don't think they know or care. Maybe they do. Maybe they develop some sort of thing where it's like I'm getting put in a cage or a kennel, and so that leads to getting needles put in my body or something. I don't know. That seems like something animals would think of. But what will they think of next? Give that big pussy some air, etc., etc. Let's get out of here now that we have our trailer and are all fixed up. Rear end to go. We are rear end like a horse. Man, what's up with the blue and yellow trailers every time? Somebody's repping those blue and yellow half trailers. They're just straight thug. They are so in this season. Okay, let's take a left. To the left, to the left. How many times do you think I've referenced that song in this series? This series of 65 to 6 some odd videos. How sad is that when we come across the 100th episode, if we end up coming across? I don't want to make any promises, because this is dumb. I'm not gonna lie, I hate this. I mean, I love this, but I hate it. It's an interesting relationship with myself and the game of American Truck Simulator. But one day, maybe we'll do a year-round thing. 365 videos of ass. I know I unfortunately missed a few days, and I might miss a few more days at some point in the future, but that's such as life when you don't prepare for these eventualities. Alright, so we're gonna get sort of back on the highway again here soon, and maybe we can speed things up again, because it's been a little while, hasn't it? we're like a startup company that just gave up for a few years. I kind of miss seeing Shark Tank, or I believe in Canada it's known as Dragon's Den, but the sort of thing, the show where these nerds who come up with some sort of business or product try to sell them to a group of famous investors that have made successful lines in the past, and so they have knowledge, and then they like buy them out. There were some dumb ideas, of course, on that show. Just dumb, just straight up dumb. But that's sort of the point. You see the dumb ones, you know, it's sort of like reality TV nowadays. But the good ones were also nice. People who gave you. I think if anything you could get from that show is maybe getting some basic skills on how to give a good presentation. Because you can see that with like some of the bad products, they just don't go give a good presentation, you know, from general stuff, like they don't articulate or enunciate, and then they don't like they don't know what they're talking about entirely. It's clear they haven't practiced. They maybe not have the best body language. All that important stuff. But, you know, I mean, it is certainly a cut-down presentation to fit in only a few minutes. But, you know, if you want to get some basic skills, you could see easily the difference between good presenters and bad presenters in that show. So, I haven't seen that show in many years, however. Just because, you know, it's always exciting. It was never exciting. It was sort of boring. But I just gave up on TV one day. We just sort of haven't gone back. I don't know when the last time I've sat down and watched TV. Really, like I'd probably much rather, if I'm like for some reason down and have the availability of the TV, that I'd probably just like rather be on my phone, like reading Reddit or some dumb shit like that, because TV, there's just nothing interesting to me anymore, especially without cable. Like, seriously, what the hell is there to see on the basic channels, especially during the daytime? What are you gonna get? You're gonna get your soap operas, you're gonna get your infomercials, you're maybe gonna get the news and the weather channel, sports depending on the day, and that's about it. You know, at some point as you get towards prime time, you might get some sitcoms and whatnot. You'll get the news. Yeah, but that's about it. Like sitcoms, it's just when it gets to prime time, it goes straight sitcom. Animated sitcoms, real life sitcoms. I don't even know what sitcoms are on the market now. So I don't know. Everything I know about TV is dead. Bah. Why can't we all just watch Tim the Toolman Taylor again? Tim the Toolman Taylor Thomas or whatever. I don't know. Anyway, but that show, I remember that show. I saw it a couple times. Reruns of it. What a weird show, you know. But it's weird. I saw a video of someone who went into an Elder Scrolls game and literally changed every sound file to the Tim the Toolman Taylor grunt, like "Arr, arr," except that, and so it replaced all the files, but you know, some had different volumes and like the pacing and pitch, and you know, it was proximity, but and that was every sound, and then they played like the first 2 minutes of the game, and it was dumb. So you know, every time he clicked a menu or hit like the enter button, every time anybody took a footstep, anytime anybody talked, anytime anybody did anything, anytime anyone opened a door, It was like, this is silly, and you must have had a lot of dedication to go in there and change literally every file to that sound. That one specific sound, that grunt. It's not a great sounding grunt either, so that's just some dedication that I can get behind. It produced a funny. It produced a sort of funny and weird way video, so you know what? Hey, we can all be successful here. Let us get off on this highway. No, that's not that way, you weirdo. But no, we're gonna merge from one highway to another highway, because one's gonna go south, one's gonna go north, and apparently I'm just gonna speed all the time. Such is life. Wii U. Not the Wii U, the console system developed by Nintendo. No, but Wii U. Oh, come on, you were supposed to go. It was green. It's green. I hate you so much right now. And now it's yellow, so he's... Oh, fuck me, man. I didn't even... I hate you. Game, I hate you right now. You're making this much more of a hassle than it needs to be. We've lost quite a bit of money on this one in terms of dumb fees. So I guess that's just something we're going to have to deal with as we move forward. You know, sometimes you're not always going to get the cookies you baked, if you catch my drift. I don't know what that means, but hey, it's an analogy that I just thought of. Maybe I've heard it somewhere, I don't remember, but you're not always going to get the profit from the effort. I had one really bad experience making cookies with a friend. Because, you know, we were like, fuck it, let's make some cookies. I don't know. I want to watch dumb French movies and eat cookies. You know, what's wrong with that? But, we needed ingredients, because we were a little bit scarce there. So, you know, we went out to the grocery store, and turns out we had sort of, miscounted what we had. I could have sworn we had brown sugar. I could have fucking put my hands on it and been like, it's right here. It's right fucking here. And I like took it in my hands. I moved it. It was there. It was there. We go grocery shopping for the missing materials. We come back. It's fucking gone. It's fucking gone. I have no idea what happened to it. I have no idea where it could have gone. We never found it. I believe it's the gremlins. I seriously just think that there's a weird gremlin living in my vents now. I don't know how I could prove that existence, but random shit just keeps disappearing. It's stuff that just should not lose. Like, especially because somebody has like felt it. Like, especially with the brown sugar. Like, there's nowhere it could have gone. I took it from the pantry, I put it on the counter. We left. That was it. Somebody else lost drill bits recently, so it's like, where the hell did those go? They're drill bits. They're in the drill. They're next to the drill. How did they get away from the drill? It's so confusing. There's just other random shit, man. It's weird. I don't know where they go. There's no place for them to go. It's not like anybody's moving them or using them that often. But such is the nature of losing things, isn't it? I hate losing things, honestly. You know, it's like something that I'm placed. I know it's here. I know I'm going to need it in the future, and it's right here. And I'll come back and be like, where the fuck did it go? I really wanted this, right now. And I'm like, where is it? And that's, of course, when I start to break down into tears and commit honorable Sudoku because I have betrayed my family. No, I am not that dramatic. I just like, oh shit, it's not here, is it? No idea where it went. I have to move on with my life, of course. You can't dwell on the past forever. Especially when it comes to losing video games. That's just so disappointing. I was like, oh shit, man, I remember this game I played like 5 years ago. It's gotta be around here somewhere in a weird sleeve. No, a lot of times I lost games. Especially, I just have fucking like sleeves upon sleeves of CDs. Just because I was too fucking lazy to put them back in the proper case. I know how terrible that is, you know, scratching the disc and just unsafe and harder to organize. And now, at some point when I was like cleaning out my desk like a couple of years ago, I was like finding all these old games, and I found all these old like CD sleeves that I used to have for when I had a CD player, and it's like, you know what, fuck it, they're all going in here, and I'm throwing them into the fucking cupboard or drawer or some shit. So now they're lying around somewhere. If I ever need to go back and play like NHL 2K6, fuck it, I can do it. So you know, that's always exciting. You know, I'm not one to judge sports games, of course. My brother always enjoyed a lot of sports games, so I sort of got swept up in them. Some sports games are better than others, of course, but like things like hockey sports games weren't bad. FIFA nowadays isn't bad. Madden, I think, could use some work. It's had a rough few years, in my opinion. Of course, Tiger Woods PGA Tour or whatever got like just canceled straight up a few years ago. I don't know. I don't remember what exactly was up with that. It was either something to do with like some lawsuit, or they just like didn't want to anymore. What the fuck? Well, that was awkward. Somehow we only took like 4% damage after crashing straight into those fucking whatever the hell they are, like barrels. They're not even barrels. They're just, I don't know what to call those. That was awkward though. We took 1% extra damage on our trailer too. I was just trying to merge or pass that guy, and then all of a sudden these fucking things pop up in my face and murder me. And that's not okay. Don't murder me, bro. But anyways, back to the sports games, you know. Played some basketball sports games too. Those can always be fun. It's, you know, just a competitive spirit. Let's all get behind some good old fun games. And it's just like, hey, nothing wrong with that. You prefer what you prefer. I'm not gonna hate. Woo! Especially in brotherly competition. That's always fun. Right, Gamma? Especially when he's like 3 feet bigger than you. That always went well. It didn't go well. Oh. You know, there was that point in time, since my brother was 3 years older than me, that he was like hitting his growth spurts early, and I was still like 11 and 12 and shit, and he was getting up to like 6 feet, and I was still like 4 feet, and it was just like, this is sad. This is fucking depressing. Ugh. And then at one point he sat on me and like broke every bone in my body. That's not true, of course, but that's what it felt like at the time. It was quite silly. He's still large. I used to call him canoe shoes because from the age of like 13 he wore size 16 shoes. It was just impressive and incredibly hard to find shoes for him. I wear like size 10 shoes. I don't know. It's my feet are kind of small compared to some others. Feet size was always weird, especially when you're a kid. Like, hey, what's your shoe size? Because I don't know, we did stuff in gym that occasionally dealt with rollerblades for some reason. Anyway, or ice skates if you need to go ice skating, of course. So it was like, hey, and I know that we're like 8, but what's your shoe size? Shoe size? It's a 4. I was like, oh yeah, me too, 4. I was like trying to compare my feet with some of my friends. Like, oh, I've got a 4.5. Well, fuck you, bitch. I've got a 4. I'm proud of it. I'm fine with my body. Oh God. So it's just sort of silly things like that. We're coming up to Elko, thank God. Hopefully the damage modifiers won't be too bad, and we can still make some profit out of this. But that's maybe a bit hard. Next time, maybe we should figure out how to get those reduced fines for sure. That's an important mod to have, in my opinion. You know, what'd be unfortunate is I don't know if I would need to restart my game or my save file to get those implemented. I wouldn't imagine it, but that's gonna be something I would hope isn't the case, because I don't know if I could go back and do 32 hours of driving again. I could always probably like copy and paste it or something. I don't know. I'll figure it out on my spare time. That's what life is for. That's what spare time is for. No, it's for having a good old time and crying. That's about it. That's all I can think of. Watching Good Burger, just watching movies and shit. Well, you spend your free time however you want to. That's all I'm saying. Let us pull into Elko. Goloso! That was seriously a great experience. If there is one thing I could recommend to everybody, maybe not everybody, if you're a fan of soccer, go ahead and fucking watch a goddamn soccer tournament in Spanish. I don't know if it was specifically Latin American Spanish or some sort of dialect, but man, the, like, what would it be, like 2006 World Cup or something. It wasn't on cable, and we had somebody wanted to watch it, and the only place we could find it was on the weird local Spanish channel, Channel 13. It used to be. I've assumed it changed now, because, you know, they added like the box and stuff that you need. Anyway, complicated issues that I don't quite understand. But man, that was so much fun. Those announcers got so fucking into it. I don't know what they were saying, but it was just so intense. Just screaming all the time they want. Golazo. And they would hold that for a long time. It was exciting. You don't have to watch it for long. Well, up until someone scores a goal, which could be a long time. Not if you're Germany playing Brazil. Got them. That's a crack at the most recent World Cup that I didn't watch. Satisfactory. Alright, not too bad. We did go 530 miles, which, anyway, thank you for watching this episode of American Truck Simulator, and I will see you next time.